Slosh and I do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Uh, for at least the purposes of this video anyway, I'll adopt that alter ego for the time being. Anyways, I digress. I want to have a classic Manhattan. And I picked up this rye a couple days ago when we were in the Tulsa area. Try to fix this real fast, and you will have my undivided attention. Oops, hit the wrong button there. There we go. That looks good. Anyways, I'm going to show you the bottle here. Woodworks Distilling Company. This is a rye whiskey from the Preface series. It is at 115 proof. Woodworks Distilling out of OKC, I do believe. Bottled by Woodworks Distilling. OKC, bottled by, doesn't say distilled. Okay. Anyways, yeah, you can see a lot of that. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But anyways, I want to try it. It looked like a pretty good rye, and I heard good things about it. So I want to do just a classic Manhattan, and I didn't play around with this one, right? I did 2.5 ounces of the rye. I did about 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth, and I used the classic Angostura bitters. I didn't use some of the other bitters that I have, and those of you that know me know I've got about a handful. I've got orange, I got blood orange, cherry, black walnut, plum, cranberry, cardamom. Anyways, I got a few, but I went classic. I wanted kind of a traditional classic Manhattan, and here we go. I did try one thing different, though, but it is still classic. I just used a different dark cherry. I found these while we were in the again, Tulsa area at a small liquor store there, but they had a marked down to $8.99. American grown and made Peninsula premium cocktail cherries. Now they are dark cherries, same as the ones you pay $25 a jar for, and they look fine. The truth is, for me, I don't eat the cherries anyway. It's a garnish, but I'm not going to put a bright red maraschino in a good Manhattan. It's got to look the part. So is it as good? Well, I haven't bit into it, to be honest with you. But for a cocktail, I think it's just fine at $9 a jar as opposed to 25. Anyways, lunch. Oh man. There was something to be said for the classics. There's a reason why they are the classics, because all of those ingredients go together well. And I tend to play around with stuff. That's kind of my nature. And I'm not, and admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of sweet vermouth, but I do love the classic Manhattan. That's why I tend to play around with it. I've used port wine, I've used sherry. I've used a whole bunch of different bitters. But I got to tell you, this classic is a classic for a reason, because everything just goes well together. There's a reason why this formula works. So I did pour 1.5 ounces neat, though. And typically I would drink it neat first, so I would see how it starts, right? But since I have this drink chill, I'm going ahead and I'm going to drink the cocktail first. So I'm going to do this kind of reverse. I'm going to drink the cocktail, and I'm going to go back and drink the rye neat here with you. But I was in the mood for a nice cocktail. I haven't made a classic Manhattan in a while, and it just sounded good. I'm fairly happy with the Oklahoma products I picked up while we were gone. And this one had some good ratings, and it was recommended by the by the liquor store owner there, and so I figured, oh, what the hell, let's give it a shot. 115 proof. I haven't tried it neat, but in this cocktail, it's absolutely gorgeous. sort of dreading. This is the end of my vacation, right? The end of the run. I got tomorrow. Well, I may have tomorrow off. That's still a little up in the air too. But going back to my regular day gig on Monday. The fact that I dread going in because it's a good job and I like it, you know, enough. It's just that it's been nice not to have to get up early, but I'm recognizing the fact that it's over. So I'm having a cocktail. Slept in this morning a little bit later than usual. We didn't get breakfast out till about 11. uh, Probably do the same tomorrow if I'm able to. May stay up slightly later tonight. Just wanted to have a few products, but I wasn't having a lot in row. Just been spacing them out throughout the day here. Just wanted to try a few things. I've been really dying to try this one as a Manhattan because I debate on whether opening it or not, but open it, Tom. Let's see what she's like. Then you can put it away for a while. Not necessarily a classic Manhattan glass. I'm not really sure what this glass is for, but I think it works for a Manhattan. It's got a similar shape, which is why I wanted to use it. It's a little bit easier to navigate. I like to play around with different glassware. It's kind of my thing. Oh, mercy, that is good. That is really good, man. Yeah, I was trying to say so should I use the sweet vermouth? Nah, let's use sweet vermouth. So what bitter should I use? And I got the bottle of Angostura right there. So just go classic all the way, Tom. We're not gonna play around with this one. We'll play around with versions later, but right now make it right to. So I did. I made the classic Manhattan. I used rye. I used sweet vermouth. I used Angostura bitters. I used the classic dark cherry. We didn't play around with this one. Oh man, it was good though. I guess there's a reason why classics are classics for a reason because it does work well. Oh, got a couple beers I picked up from Tulsa area that I want to try, but wanted to have I was still kind of full from dinner, so I wanted to have a classic cocktail. I'm gonna have some of that right neat, and maybe a little bit later I'll do another beer video, but I want to relax and have a cocktail. The perfect digestif, if you will. Ah, mercy, Percy, that is good. Man, that does work well together. I'm dying to try that rye neat though, but I want to finish the cocktail first. I am dying to try that neat because the flavors that I'm getting in the aromas are just rather amazing. So I'm really curious what she's like neat, to be honest with you, to see how much I'm getting from the sweet vermouth, the bitters. Because I'm detecting certain flavors and aromas from this rye. Man, that was good. Took a little break there, just finished watching the Love Boat. Doing some classic Disney tonight. I just wanted to watch the Love Boat. Sometimes you just need a movie on that you don't have to think with. Reliving my youth for a second there, remembering when a 4-year-old me was at the theater watching that film. I like watching some auto racing, so I put on the Love Boat. The classic, not the remake, but the classic. Dean Jones, Michelle Lee. Buddy Hackett. Had all the stars. Every B star in the business is in that movie. Every almost star is in that movie. All the usual suspects. Joe Flynn. You even get Bing Russell has a bit part, as Bing Russell has a bit part in almost every movie. Almost every Western and Disney movie, you will see a glimpse of Bing Russell. The father of Kurt Russell, if you're not aware. But yeah, he's got every Disney movie. He's got this tiny part, maybe one speaking line. I think he's got two speaking lines in The Love Bug, and you'll see him in almost every Western. And sometimes he got a speaking line, sometimes not. He doesn't have a speaking line in Rio Bravo. It's an emotional part, though. He buys the farm in the first couple minutes of the film. But you watch every B Western, you're going to see a little bit of Bing Russell, and then of course in almost every Disney film, of course that's where Kurt Russell got started. Became a big star, shunned Disney, trying to break that Disney mold, and did The Thing and a few John Carpenter films, right? Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York. But then returned to Disney and did Sky High. Apparently, all is forgiven. Okay, so let's try this rye as is then. Oh, wow. I'm going to show you this bottle one more time. Woodworks Distilling. So put that glass up there. Rye. Wood influences every facet of the making, so that our spirit might influence every dimension of your own. Bottled by Woodworks Distilling, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. There we go. That doesn't say a lot about the whiskey. It just says that much, but I'm going to show you the label there. We'll put that off to the side. Grab my short. We'll just set it there for now, I guess. And now we'll pick up our 1.5 ounce neat. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I was getting some aromas, some flavors that I wasn't sure how much the sweet vermouth, the cherry, the bitters was impacting that, but I was feeling some flavors and aromas that I thought were really from the rye, and wow. As I check the nose here, and I haven't taken a drink yet, I'm feeling a lot of those flavors. I almost get a sherry-like aroma. Get a vanilla cream note right away. A lot of oak. Damn. Wow. That's nice, man. That's very nice. I don't know if you saw that face, but there wasn't one. I mean, there's no grimace at all at 115. It is absolutely incredibly welcoming, let's say. She wants me, baby. Anyway, oh, that rye is gorgeous. Wow. Gosh, that's amazing. You get that nice rye, that rye spice early on. You feel a little bit of vanilla. I almost get this amaretto-like note in there. That could be just me, but wow. Incredibly oaky dry. This thing is just gorgeous and rather approachable at that 115. And that's what I was curious about, because that Manhattan was just so delectable that I was curious what it was like neat. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. The truth is, though, it is easy to drink neat, and I should probably drink most of this bottle neat, but it is so perfect in a Manhattan, I will probably use it in more Manhattans just because it just makes a beautiful Manhattan. I may have to try it as an old fashioned just out of, you know, curiosity. Yeah, that might have to be next. Wow, this is gorgeous. It's that little bit of spice in there. At the end, you get that barrel spice, but you feel that rye spice right about the middle there. You can feel that nice body of that 115 proof rye. Oh man, that's beautiful. We hadn't been to Oklahoma in a while, the wife and I. In fact, we hadn't been to Oklahoma. Last time we were in Oklahoma, we were with our son Seamus, and that's probably why it's taken us so long to get back. Because we've talked about it several times over the last few years, but there seems to be always a reason to not go. And I think this time we just decided to go because we kind of ran out of other places to go close. You know, I don't know. It just kind of felt like it was time. Everything fell into place for us to go. Let's say that. And it was enjoyable. It was. Uh, hit four breweries while I was there. Didn't go into any distilleries. There wasn't really any to speak of right in that general area. There was one, but it had moved, I guess. But it happened to be my wife wanted to hit a thrift store, and there were three breweries like within walking distance. I mean, like 2 blocks between the three breweries. So I did that while she hit the thrift store. So I was able to hit Marshall Brewing, American Solera, and Cabin Boys, which is my favorite. That's a tough question because I really like Marshall. I know it's not one of the trendier breweries, but I got to tell you, the beer was really good there, and the customer service was impeccable. Very knowledgeable, very friendly at Marshall's. But I also really enjoyed Cabin Boys a lot for a lot of the same reasons. The beer was incredible, but again, the atmosphere, the place was friendly, knowledgeable staff. I got to meet one of the owners there. So that was nice as well. American Solera, again, I almost hate to talk about it because it's not negative per se, because the beer was great. The beer really was. It's just not my kind of place. In all honesty, I'm clearly not the demographic of American Solera because I'm not snobby and I just felt rather pretentious. But I will tell you, the beer I had was rather incredible. So, uh, um, but it takes more than good beer to get me to come back. 'Cause for me, craft beer is more than just beer. It's about the atmosphere. It's about the experience. There's more to it for me. Now, I know others see it differently. That's why places like that exist. And they clearly have a market. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, the beer was great. Um, but I'm clearly not their demographic. No. Another, I mentioned those three. The one I had before them was Hop the Griffin. That one kind of surprised me. They were kind of off the beaten path a little bit. But again, they were, we talk about wheelhouse, where American Solera, I'm clearly not their demographic. I think I might be for Hop the Griffin because they had that kind of working class kind of vibe, family owned operation. The beer was great. Um, it was just a very nice experience. It would make me go back. It would make me recommend that place to anybody that is going to Tulsa. It's just good. Our first meal in the area was at Kilkenny's Irish Pub, and that was rather impressive too. Not only was the meal good though, but the service was wow. The service was great there, man. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy, Sláinte.